talking about you.
All right, we're ready? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and start this meeting. I'm going to call the meeting to order and declare we have a quorum. Are we all good on our live stream and everything going on there? All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Item number 3, any discussion on possible action on removal of any item from the consent agenda? If not, could I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Moody,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Mendiola,
Yes.
Martins.
Yes. And let me just say for full disclosure, that I'm very, very happy that part of that consent agenda was that Gary Schaefer has agreed to be on the airport board for another term, and Alan Mayo Wilson is going to be on our library board for a 3-year term. So I just want the public to know that too. Okay, item 6, Mr. Copeland can't be with us tonight, so we're going to go right on past that agenda item on the shooting range. Number 7, discussion concerning request to install speed bumps or speed tables on East Redwood Avenue between Oak Street and Highway 59, and possible action and/or guidance to the staff.
So on August 30th, Mr. Day, and he's here tonight, so if you guys have any questions for him, feel free to ask him. But he submitted a petition to install speed bumps or speed tables on East Redwood Avenue. And the address is between Oak Street and Highway 59. The petition received 13 signatures, and all of this is in your packet. The policy states that there's 75% of the residents along that segment must be in agreement with the request, and there's also a map. The signatures received met the requirements, and the policy also requires that the city staff perform speed surveys and vehicle counts. Currently, we don't have a way to conduct the speed surveys, but the street department did place the 2 traffic counters between September 9th and September 23rd, so that was a 2-week period. And the vehicle counts were 38,575 for the one location on Redwood near Oak Street, and 36,886 for the other one that was located near Highway 59. So according to Police Chief Franklin, they've been actively addressing the speed concerns. They've been working the area, and they have made traffic stops. He's noted that there's been more significant instances of the excessive speeding while working in that area, in the Redwood and Elm area, has the higher propensity for speeding. So the police department feels it might be a better option to install a 4-way stop sign at Redwood and Elm that would slow the traffic down there on Redwood, and it would also help manage the traffic during high traffic times during football games, soccer matches, rodeos, and any other events that we have. So we discussed it kind of as a staff. We feel that, you know, if you guys want to implement something, that probably the stop sign, making that a 4-way would be a better option. And we have done the blinking LED lights, solar lights as well, like we have there on South Wheeler. So, you know, we would entertain that idea as well.
I definitely agree that it's a problem. You know, I've watched hospital staff play Frogger with cars as they go
Right.
across there. I really like the idea of the 4-way stop.
Okay?
But I'm wondering if there's something else we can do to contain that area, because if you drive off of 59 going there, you still have to kind of go up over a hill a little bit and down before you see the 4-way stop.
Yeah.
I was thinking if there's a way to make that crosswalk there at the hospital a little more brighter, or a way to make that more visible, so that people, as soon as they come off 59, they see something that makes them slow down.
Well, and I've noticed too that if you pull out of the hospital, on either side of the hospital, you gotta almost get out in the street. It's just the way it was built. I mean, the way that's all built right in there, you gotta just almost get out and see back east
Yeah.
on Redwood, and when the cars are going fast, it's hard to get back in, to get on Redwood, maybe turn left or turn right, either one, when you're on either side over the hospital, because the hospital and the sign kind of block that street. And you can't change that. I mean, you know, as a hospital, just is where it is. But, you know, that's a heavy area for danger right there that you're talking about too, so.
Yeah, and is there a way to make that hospital area more hospital-y, you know, with the hospital signs?
What do you want, like wheelchairs?
You what?
How? Wheelchairs up front?
Well, I mean, most hospitals you go to, you see hospital sign, you see the H's.
Hey, Dave, I live over in Richland, and they did that. We got speed bumps over there, and it wasn't 30 days, and they were wanting them out. It didn't slow anybody down, just made it louder.
I think you
what they
guys did the
said.
speed tables,
Huh?
right? Didn't we do the
Yeah.
speed
Yeah,
tables?
yeah, speed tables, my bad.
Situation on it is, I got there with my kids, and I've had on several different cases, people texting and speeding and drive off into my yard.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Dave.
I'll get
Dave,
you.
come on up.
I'll get you what you want. I'll vote whatever you want. I'm just letting you know that they're not happy with them in our neighborhood.
All I care about is my kids' safety.
Sure.
I don't care if y'all put a four-way down there, I don't care what y'all do. As long as there's something stopping people from speeding down my road in Jordan. I bought this house from Jordan,
He knew.
so he knows how bad it is right there. It's just, it's terrible. I mean, there's times I have to go out there, especially during football games. I have to go out there and walk out into the road to make sure my mom can get out. Because by the time she looks one way, there's already a car speeding down the road, almost hitting her. It's just, it's getting old.
I get it.
People come off of 59, you can hear their tires squalling, come down Redwood. I mean, I can only do so much by throwing my hands up at them, but
So you wanna try the four-way, the lit up four-way and some more hospital signs and?
And to answer your question about making it brighter, where I'm from, they actually had some signs that were yellow for crosswalk right there that lit up kind of like y'all's stop signs out here.
That's what I was thinking.
Cause one of those signatures on that, petition is the hospital itself, well, one of the directors of the
Yeah.
hospital.
You kind of kill two birds with one stone. You can protect the hospital staff and
like it.
the kids at the
Good.
same time.
There's a lot of, and plus, I mean, think about it, y'all are about to finish that swimming pool down there.
Oh,
Y'all
yeah.
don't see how many kids
Oh, yeah.
I see walking down through there that, I mean, just out in the middle of the road, because there's no sidewalks, there's nothing to do.
Right.
And I mean, I would love to see sidewalks out there, but, I mean, our front yards are already, the
Small.
ones on the other side of the road are a little bit bigger, but, I mean, our front yards are already so small over there in that.
Yeah.
But something like that would still make it way safer, regardless of speed bumps or four ways, whatever.
Yeah.
Or when that pool opens up, they'd
Absolutely.
be able to walk down that road in a safer manner.
Yeah, your summer street counts are gonna be a lot higher, especially when the pool gets open and all the
Exactly.
activities and the skateboard park and stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
The only concern I had with the speed tables is that coming down Redwood and all the emergency vehicles and stuff with the hospital there as well. And then I know that they don't like them in Richland after
Well-
they were implemented.
Most hospitals that I've seen in bigger cities have speed bumps or some kind of speed deterrent out there. And one thing I've never understood about that situation with the hospital is why they don't come down in front of Fulbright's car wash and then cut and go straight over Redwood because of that turn being so tight right there and that ditch being so steep. It would only make sense to actually make it to where them signs point right there and go down that way anyway. Because I don't know how many times, I mean, I drive a rather wide vehicle and I'll be coming out of the hospital and an ambulance turning in, or even a little Honda Civic turning in right there. It's hard for them to turn when I'm right there, but I can't go because there's some idiot speeding down the road. So I mean, that whole little situation is a safety hazard anyway, from my point of view.
I think the concern I would have is, I agree with the chief. I think maybe the speed bumps with, or whatever you want to call them, with the emergency vehicles, probably not the best route. But do you think the four-way at Elm is going to alleviate speeding through there? Because I envision them stopping at Elm and then just hauling their way to fit. So I mean, that kind of defeats the purpose for Oak and 59. Does it make more sense to have that at Harriet
All right, Harriet's, that's the one right there,
in front of the hospital
Yeah.
there?
so I would say, honestly, do one right there in front of, before the hospital and right after the hospital.
So Elm and Harriet.
Yeah, because I mean, no matter what, as soon as they leave that stop sign, like you said, they're gonna haul butt out of there.
You know,
And I mean, it happens a lot, and I hate to say it, a lot of it is tow trucks, a lot of it's city vehicles. And, I mean, it's not just civilians, it's everybody.
So do you think like a big caution at the crosswalk or a big signs at the crosswalk would alleviate some of that too, as well as the stop sign?
In a way, I think it would cut down a little bit, it would grab a couple of people's attention, but at the same time, there's a speed limit sign right in front of my house, and that don't do no good.
That's true.
I mean, if everybody get off their phone and actually pay attention to a sign a little bit more, maybe, but that's why I kinda like the idea of the speed bumps, because it's gonna wake somebody up.
I think John would like to add something to that.
First off, I've enjoyed working with Mr. Day on this deal and other previous deals, and I understand where he's coming from, especially, you know, I used to live on Redwood also, so I understand what it's like living on Redwood. But one of the things that I think may deter some of this is that four-way stop at Elm and Redwood, because what we realize is people that are driving fast down there, just a lot like Taylor, it's not that they have the intent to be speeding there. It's because it's a long stretch and there's not a lot of cars in front of them. So I think if we did put a four-way right there, it's gonna help. Going back to the crosswalk at the hospital, I think there are some things that we could do to really help that. And going back into different things that we've talked about at other meetings, a sidewalk project there could be phenomenal from where the aqua park's gonna be all the way to 59. That's probably gonna help quite a bit when people realize, hey, I've got sidewalks next to me and it's not just two roads. But a lot of it's gonna be us going down there and being able to have the tools to enforce different things. So if we have a good crosswalk, and you guys gotta remember too, there's only one crosswalk going over there. It's on the west side, not the east side. So if we got with the hospital, and we told them, hey, let's make sure that we're using that one crosswalk, I think that would be better also. And just trying to educate them on that. But, you know, there's some other things that we could do as far as studies. We didn't find a lot of speeders in the area because, I mean, the way those houses are, your front yard's literally on the road. So even though they're going 20 miles an hour, or 25 or 30, it still seems really fast in that area. I think the best thing that we can do is go in with the four-way stops, put some more lighting on the crosswalk, and allow us the ability to go in and work the four-way stop and work the crosswalk and see if we can help that
I
neighborhood
think
out.
we had ordered at one time some crosswalk lights, but that never got installed. Do you remember?
That's what the guy at the hospital was saying, that, and I do believe there's actually two crosswalks at that hospital. One of them, the paint's just faded out, I do believe. I could be wrong on
Okay.
that. And also addressing the noise from the speed bumps. The car wash is in my backyard, the noise ain't gonna hurt me. Like, I didn't think about that when I bought the house.
Yeah.
So, but, I mean,
Just thinking also about the other four-way stop, that I think was just more of a thinking out loud moment. I don't think I would put another four-way stop at Harriet unless we absolutely need to, because I think you're gonna end up with a lot of congestion there. I'd like to think that, you know, and after the ball games and stuff like that, the rodeo, those types of things, we can always put an officer out there to, you know,
direct
wake
traffic.
people through the four
Yeah.
ways. But I
I don't
think.
want congestion.
I don't know why we couldn't have a crosswalk on both ends of the hospital, though. I
Yeah.
don't know why we couldn't light up a crosswalk and some safety lights, whatever it takes to get that safe for those folks.
I don't have a problem, one, with that, Mayor. I just wanted to be clear that there's only one crosswalk there right
I
now.
think we could do two, and then do the stop sign. I think that would slow it down a bunch.
So those are three different traffic items that we would be putting on that road that we don't have right now. And it would allow us more of the ability to slow people down. And I think people in Salsa, when we stop them, they're not doing it without due regard to people most of the time. They're busy, they're going somewhere, they have other distractions like on their phone. So it gives us the ability, if we had those to work with, we could probably make a lot more traffic stops and assist the residents in that area.
and I do appreciate all your help and everything. I know a lot of what you see down there, but I also know what I see sitting in my driveway when I'm out there with my kids. People accelerating, spinning tires, coming across the road, flooring it right in front of my house. And, I mean, it's, just because it don't happen when you're out there, don't mean it don't happen. And, I mean, it happens a lot.
Yeah, I understand.
If I would have known a little bit sooner, I wouldn't have deleted all the videos I had of a lot of different people coming through there, mostly Dodge diesels, flooring it, and
It's not cheap. 'Cause they can't go that fast.
Okay, well, we thank
but
you
they're
for,
loud.
That's the biggest problem. Redwood's a thoroughfare. Everybody's cutting across, going over to the other side of town because there isn't any stops.
Traffic's out of control.
And it's just quick go up, that we have all our emergency vehicles. The other thing with the speed bumps is during wintertime with the,
Yes,
we got
with the
snow and stuff on the ground.
street department equipment.
I know we've worked, a lot of traffic there the other day. I sat up there for about an hour at the Masonic Lodge, watching traffic. And, just, and I mean, you know, most people were probably going the speed limit, and a lot of them might have been over just a little bit. But I think if you do the two stop, or the two crosswalks, and we advertise it, and put a lot of signage, people have to slow down for both of them. So if we got the stop sign in Hill, I've talked to, in the past about putting a stop sign there, a four-way, just to help us get out of the rodeo routes, different things, and the football games. But with the two walks and that four-way, and they're at 59, people will see that more, and they'll have to slow down, hopefully, because they're gonna, not only are they gonna encounter a four-way, they're gonna encounter two crosswalks with the possibility of maybe hitting a pedestrian. And hopefully if they're driving and they're paying attention, they're not gonna wanna do that at all.
That's the thing, you gotta get them to pay attention too.
But,
I
you
mean,
know,
Yeah.
but that's the big problem in today's time is our cars are so sound and so well built that it's easy to drive 35 mile an hour and think you're driving 15. I mean, whenever I was a kid, and some of us in here, was driving 20 mile an hour in a car, you would, but it was rattling. It's just the difference in the makes and the quality of the vehicles. But you're within about, your house is the second house from the corner, right?
yeah,
So you're right there within the,
and I've watched a lot of people run that stop sign right off into 59 to the car too, because they were speeding.
well, I mean, you know, we're gonna have some people that don't obey the law,
Exactly.
but
But
we do write them tickets.
it would stop them a little bit more if there was something
And
making
the
them
other,
slow down.
the other side of it is, if I had somebody that I could sit up there all the time, I would, but we don't. I mean, we're
Well,
down about 5 or 6.
Y'all more welcome, give me a badge, I'll sit out there in my front yard and stop everybody I see. I mean,
Well,
y'all ain't gotta pay me, I work from home anyway.
Well, if we were to bring more prominence to those two, or one crosswalk include the other, and then add the four-way to Elm and see what that does, would that be something that
To me,
you would set well?
I think the four-way to Elm is more for traffic control as far as like, y'all helping the football field
Fair.
out. I mean, to me, I don't think it's gonna help anything on my end of the road, because, I mean, I'm having to deal with the speeders right there. They're still gonna speed until they get to that stop sign. Or when they leave that stop sign coming my way, they're gonna speed up that way. As far as I mentioned earlier, the, signs for the crosswalks, that's only if they really care. I mean, there's speed limit signs on that road, nobody pays attention to them anyway. Now, even if y'all put speed bumps by the hospital at each one of those crosswalks, I think that would help out a lot. At least that would slow them down right there to where they're not hitting somebody when they're leaving work. I don't know how many times I've stopped out there in the middle of the yellow line to let people come across that road because other people ain't letting them go, and they've been sitting out there for a minute. I really don't care what y'all do. I'm just tired of people driving into my yard and potentially hitting my 3-year-old or my 9-year or 10-year-old now or my 14-year-old.
What I'd recommend on that is, if somebody drives in your yard, if you get the tag, you call us and we'll make a
I have.
report, and we'll take care of it, okay?
I have.
well, Mr. Day, we appreciate everything you've done, and I understand, but they ought to slow down and look at your yard decorations right now, is what they ought to do.
Well, those people slow down, and that helps out quite a bit. I thought about leaving them all year round.
There you go,
to be
something
honest.
all year round, yeah.
Yeah,
Good job with that, man, so.
I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate it, and we're gonna do something, so we'll do what we think we can to alleviate, try to alleviate your problem.
Okay.
So, appreciate what you've done on all this.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, yeah.
So, what's the pleasure of the group?
Is there a way, you know, we're talking about the speed tables, but is there a way to put the little divots in the asphalt there? You know, those are kind of like deterrents too for speeding, the little, what do you call those, indentions?
Rumble
in the-
strips?
Huh?
Were you talking like the rumble strips?
Rumbles,
Like
yeah,
when they
rumble
use it
strips
for-
or something there, you can
on the
put them at the
highway.
crosswalk
Or in the center.
as well as the signage.
I would say if we could, at the very first, do the prominence of the crosswalks and do that four-way stop down there, try that first, and then if we have to come back and do something else after that, see if that alleviates, see if that helps the problem.
Yeah, I think
And if
that's a
not,
good
come
idea.
back and do something more drastic or something more later.
There's
yeah.
LED crosswalk signs like the stop sign,
Yeah.
the flashy
Yeah.
ones too.
And
Well,
do
I
two
really think
crosswalks
that-
at the
Yeah,
hospital.
two crosswalks should be really lit up.
The only
I'm not-
problem, I think, the only problem you're gonna have is just like when they put the stop signs in at the soccer field on my side of town. It was years before people stopped at those things. People just get in the habit and they blow through it.
That's
It's
why I
gonna be
thought
the
maybe
same.
the LED solar ones that
Well,
flash
and I
would
think your
might be a
biggest
little
problem
bit
about
more.
Elm Street's gonna be is you're gonna get all those football kids coming over there at 2 o'clock. Now you're shutting down those
Well, they
kids
need to
getting the
slow down, too.
football.
They need to slow down too.
Well, I'm just saying, so now instead of them just whipping in there to the football field, now they're all gonna either gonna have to run a stop sign or they're gonna be late for practice. It's gonna be one or the other. So I think that's where you're gonna have an issue on that one.
Well, there'll
is-
definitely have to be a time of education. when you
Yeah, I
put
mean,
that
you're gonna
sign
have to
up.
have somebody there to watch it at least for a while, because, I mean, when they're getting to practice, they're getting to practice. I mean, they're only one way in, that's it.
Well, I know going north on Elm, sometimes it's difficult just to get on Redwood.
It
From
is.
Elm. It's tough, and, I think stop sign would help that. And, because the amount of traffic each way on that street, and so.
Well, like Terry said, it's just a pass through. Everybody just goes
Yeah,
around
well,
just to skip
There's another
going
one
through.
just north of Mile North
town.
too, so, up in my house, so.
I just want to go to, is it possible to put one of those camera systems in that not only, picks up the plate for speeders, maybe something like that could catch them going through?
Sir, I appreciate your question, but it's not open time, okay? We allowed him to talk with he, because he was on today, but that's a good question, and it's something that's a good idea, okay? But
I just wanted to throw that at you.
that's certainly something we consider, thank you. What's the pleasure of the group? Would you like to try the one thing first and see what we can do, or what do you think? Well, give direction to the city, to the staff.
It's your word, Kenny.
Well, coming into this, I was in favor of doing the four-way stop and the crosswalk signage, and having two crosswalks, and having the police educate during that time, work that area for a little while, make sure people know what's going on, would be a good start, and just see if it helps.
We don't need a motion on that, do we?
I mean, yeah, action.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
actually-
if you'd like to, would you
Put
like to
that
put
in
that
motion.
on motion, Kenny?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we do that.
Okay.
Second.
So just to be clear with your motion, you do crosswalks and the four-wheel stop.
To two crosswalks and the four-way stop.
Okay, thank you. And we have a second.
Second.
Yes. Moody,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Mendiola,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Martins.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Day. Number 8, discussion possible action on the schedule of regular meeting dates for calendar year 2025. And I think there was a little bit of a time.
Just on the background, it
Okay.
was 6:30, and that time should be 6 o'clock. But the regular meetings are scheduled for the second Monday of every month, and we didn't have any conflicts arise.
Have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the 2025 regular meeting dates.
Second.
Mendiola,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Martins.
Yes. Number 9, discussion and possible action on resolution 2024-24, which is a resolution to notify the Secretary of the County Election Board of Sequoia County, Oklahoma, to conduct our next election.
So the offices to be filled will be Commissioner for Ward 1 and the Commissioner for Ward 3. Each of these will serve a 3-year term. The filing period begins at 8 a.m. Monday, December 2nd, and ends at 5 p.m. Wednesday, the 4th. The date of the municipal election will be the second Tuesday in February, which would be February 11th of 2025.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2024-24.
Second.
Mendiola,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Martins.
Yes. Item 10, discussion and possible action on staff's request to purchase one 2024 Freightliner side-load automated sanitation truck for the sanitation department from J&R Equipment of Oklahoma City and authorized purchase via a lease purchase agreement.
There's only one bid on this. It's a state contract bid. So the approval would allow for a smaller sidearm truck. We have the larger one now, and it's been very beneficial to the city. This sidearm truck has a 10-foot reach. It can compact 850 pounds per cubic yard. The smaller unit will be accessible for the narrower streets, and it's available as part of the state contract, and the cost is $338,497.20. And we would plan to purchase this via a 48-month lease purchase. And we have $50,000 budgeted also for this item.
No Jamie today?
He had another meeting to go to, so
Okay.
he's not here.
So what, he looked at this, he okay
Yes.
with this?
Yes.
You have a motion?
What's the time frame on it?
They've got one coming off the line that will be available the second week in November.
So we pick up, they deliver, we go pick it up?
I think they will deliver it. Yes, freight and stuff is included on that.
A good price? Make a motion, we approve purchase side load sanitation truck and authorize purchase via lease purchase.
Second.
Mendiola,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Martins.
Yes. Now, item 11, we also have to do another motion to actually authorize the execution of the lease purchase agreement of the equipment.
Make a motion, we approve resolution 2024-25.
Second.
Mendiola,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Martins.
Yes. Item 12, possible action on purchase order number 103001, issued to Storm Sirens, Inc. of Norman, Oklahoma, in the amount of $14,750 for the purchase of a CD&F report back system with a two-way capability of the new and converted sirens, and utilize fiber optic lines to report the siren status back to a central user.
Take it, Ron.
That's
So,
fine.
okay, so there was a lot of back and forth between Storm Sirens Inc. and Salisol. We have been communicating them quite honestly for the last 3 or 4 years, trying to get this project grant funded when we did. Of course, we got it to you guys for approval last month. It was indeed a turnkey. What I didn't realize, and I don't think what any of us realized in our conversations with Storm Sirens, is that quote did not include the programming and the PC for the two-way reporting component of the Storm Sirens. And so I think everyone here indicated that two-way reporting was important to know how long the duration of the storm siren blast was, that it was functioning, that it was working well. And so they gave us a quote, and I think their first quote was closer to $19,000. We were able to work that price down by providing our own PC equipment for the two-way reporting, and then, of course, doing some of the work ourselves. You should have a quote in there from them. The bulk of the quote is for the programming and the software. So that's what's in front of you, and so we wanted you to be aware of it and make you aware that it was my error. So anyway, that's what you got
This
from
wasn't
me.
a purchase above 20,000. I just wanted to put it on here so that you guys would be aware of what this purchase was for, because it was for 14,750. And also to let you know that I spoke with Shannon with GRDA, and we're going to use some of the GRDA sponsorship dollars as well for this unit.
And remember, we did talk about that at the last meeting. Clint
Yes.
gave us an update on that last meeting,
Yes.
how good it was gonna be for the system too. If you remember that.
And we did hear from them today as an update, since we're talking about storm sirens, that they're ready to, I think all the equipment is in and readily available, and they're ready to do the installation
Yep.
on the two. So Blakely's got to get locates and stuff called in. And if you guys remember, we're replacing the one at the sports complex that's pretty intermittent. And then the one out at the SLPT location right now doesn't work. And so that one's gonna get moved a little bit south, down on South Cedar, and that will help encompass the VA area along with the industrial park, and it will also cover the Carl Albert area as well.
Okay. Thank you,
Good.
George.
Thank you.
No action on this one, it's already been done, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Acknowledge
No.
it.
And just acknowledge.
Just acknowledge, that's it.
Yeah, make a motion, we acknowledge the purchase order number 103-001.
Second.
Mendiola,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Martins.
Yes. Item 13, discussion and possible action giving a temporary pay increase to the interim city manager.
Yeah, I put this item on the agenda. I think the precedent has been set, and I think it's warranted. Anything I had to say about it's in the background, on the commentary, and the policies and whatnot are attached to the agenda item, so if you guys have any questions or whatever it is, fire away.
Well, I am for paying somebody for what, the job that they're doing. So if you're having to fill in a position higher up, then you should be compensated something temporarily while you fill that position until it gets filled.
Didn't the last city manager on his exit give 4 people a raise as he was walking out the door? I assume that was for compensation, like of $5,500.
The last raises that people received was the compensation plan that you guys did in lieu of a COLA for the whole pay plan
Mr.
adjustments.
Skelton gave some raises too.
As he walked out the door, yeah.
Prior to that.
No, I think, I mean, if you're gonna,
That was a while ago. That
That
wasn't
was
as he walked
before-
out the door.
that was before budget.
Irregardless of what he's done, Mr. Skelton didn't vote unanimously to put a person in that interim city manager position. This council did. It was this council's decision. And with that should go fair compensation.
We just raised everybody's everything. Everybody's hurting. And if you start handing out raises, I don't know how we're gonna look them in the eye. And I'm thankful for what Robin's doing, but everybody's having to pitch in. Are we giving everybody a $10,000 raise? Everybody's pulling slack right now.
I guess define pulling slack. I mean, your argument is that the vast majority of City Hall employees are taking on an extraordinary responsibility that they weren't previously done.
More, yes.
I would have to see tangible proof of that. I think that's an invalid argument. The city manager position is the most crucial position at City Hall, and to have someone fill that role for an undisclosed amount of time and also not compensate them at least to some percentage of what that position would have is unfair to me.
I know this is a topic that has been lingering, I would say. You know, ever since Robin took the position, we put her in there. And I didn't know this was, I didn't really know it was gonna come up until I looked at the agenda on Thursday before our meeting on Thursday and saw it was on here. So prior to Thursday, I would have said no. Okay, because I feel like that as an assistant city manager, the pay was there before you were assistant manager, city's manager. We paid you to do the work of the city manager in case he was gone, okay? In light of that, I have prayed very hard over the weekend for this. I knew the conversation was gonna come up. When I woke up Sunday morning, the first thing that was on my mind was a dollar amount that I feel is what I'm supposed to go with, so that's what I will go with. It's not what he put in here. It's a little close, but that's that's kind of where I'm at. Now, I'm not sure that I probably would have been willing to look at this if you wasn't having to deal with some of the stuff that you're having to deal with throughout the community, with social media, with all the different people attacking the city and stuff like that. You know, I feel like that's a little bit different than what, you know, is your role as a city manager. So I'm kind of torn in that area. You know, I feel like, you know, it's a little bit different. But then again, you have to go back and look at, you're not the only person that's getting tormented through the city with everything that's going on, you know. And so it's kind of hard to justify giving one, like Josh says, how do you give one and the other one's not at one? You know, I know people in the office have been kind of in the same boat, you know, but I do know and I understand that everything rides on your shoulders right now. You know, you are the one basically keeping the city afloat. If it goes down, you know, it's kind of your responsibility right now. And until we find a city manager, I'm hoping you'll give us an update on that later, of when we're gonna start the process, because it's dragging out. So my number that I would say was, that I woke up Sunday morning with, was 10,000. Now, I know it's not what Brad wanted, it's not what he put in there, but that's a number that I'm comfortable with to make a little bit of a difference.
How much, Bronson?
10,000.
A year.
Yeah, you know, and so it may be a slap in the face. I don't know, Robin. It may be insulting. I don't know. That's just, like I said, that's the number that I prayed about over the weekend, and that was the first thing when I woke up Sunday morning. That was the first thing that come to my mind, was that number for that. Now, you're welcome to, or Brad's welcome, or Kenny can, you know, say what you want. You know, I'm sure you have, you know.
I'm not here to toot my own horn, but I will tell you that out of respect for this city and the love that I have for this city, I have dedicated an unknown amount of time, and my husband is here to vouch, that if I'm at that office till 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, I will leave here, I will go through a drive-through, grab me something to eat, and when I walk through the door at home, I'm back upstairs working until I feel my workload is where I can feel comfortable that I can proceed the next day.
Right.
And it has been that since June 21st.
Right.
Now, has there been weeks that I go home and I'm able to turn on the TV and go to bed and not stay late and not go upstairs and work? Yes, there has been, but they've been very few and far between. Is it, you know, is it warranted? Is that what is covered under the job description, assistant city manager? No, I feel like what is covered under that description is what I did in December when Keith had to have surgery. And I fulfilled that role, and I did it to the best of my ability. I'm not gonna stand here and say that I know how to run a city to the fullest. There's a lot that I have encountered since June that has been thrown my way, that I've had to feel my way through and make the best choices, you know, of what I feel is best for the city.
Right.
Some other man's opinion, it might be totally different. But regardless of what you do, I'm gonna uphold my composure, and I'm going to perform this role until we get another city manager in place. And anything that you feel, you know, I didn't put this item on the agenda, I do have the utmost respect for Brad for bringing it up, because, you know, when you do the work, you do feel a lack of respect, I guess, in a way, that you're not being appreciated, you know, for what you are taking in, and there's a lot that goes unnoticed. But, you know, I'll be grateful for whatever you guys decide. And I'm not gonna do less, you know. You give me less money or whatever, I'm not gonna perform less roles. I'm still going to be committed to my city and do whatever is needed. and take the heat for whatever.
And you've been doing this since June?
Yes.
Are you wanting, Brad, are you proposing back compensation?
Retroactive to June, yep.
And is it quit? Does she go back to regular salary
Yes,
whenever
it's
we hire
temporary.
somebody?
Yes,
Once
it's
we
just
hire
temporary.
somebody, it will go back.
John's on 38.
Yeah, I saw that. I was just clarifying for the newspaper.
So what's on there, $1,000 per pay period? Is that what you had on there?
Yeah, and I mean, that number I came up with by looking at the wages presented in the budget, and then I just picked 75%. So it would be the difference between the two positions, 75% of that difference between the two, roughly. I think when Keith was in the same position, it was 800. I just picked 75%. I'm not dead set on that number. I mean, 10,000's better than nothing, and I think we can't do nothing. I think 10,000's low, but I appreciate that, though.
I appreciate what you're doing, and I think you're doing a great job. I do. You ain't got that, you haven't had that long as assistant city manager before you had to sit in the big chair. I'm not trying to say that at all. These guys want to vote for it, I'll vote with it. I'm just saying a lot of people are having a lot of stress now also. And we just raised everybody's everything. People are hurting. I don't know how I'm gonna look them in the eye. That's all I'm saying. Not that you're not doing a great job. I'm not saying that.
So 2 pay periods, city get paid every 2 weeks,
Bi-monthly,
a week, huh?
I mean, bi-monthly, yes.
twice a month, yes.
Bi-weekly,
Bi-weekly.
every
It's
2
every-
weeks.
Yeah.
It's every other week, yeah.
Would you be willing to do $1,000 a month instead of per pay period?
I'm sorry, what?
$1,000 a month instead of the pay period? Then $500 per pay period, be $1,000 a month. Would that be an alternative that you could live with?
Yeah,
Pancho, you had a bigger number in mind, though.
10,000 is what, like I said, I prayed over the weekend, and that's the number that I got.
he's at 12.
So
You know,
we're kinda
you're
all
at
over the
12.
place on the number then.
Huh?
We're all over the place on the number then.
You're just saying a flat 10,000.
I would do 12. Because I feel like I read this wrong. You know, I read it, and when I prayed over it, I read it as 1,000 a month. That's the way I read it, not, I didn't read 2 times a month, basically, you know. So, I mean, I'm fine with 500 every 2 weeks, you know, 12,000. Right, be 12,000. 500 every 2 weeks, 1,000 a month, yeah. So.
My opinion is that we're trying to compensate someone for pulling the weight during a temporary period. So, like you're saying 10 or 12 or whatever, which would come up to $400 or $500 a pay period. But it may not even be that much, you know, depends on how fast we find a city manager.
Right.
It would still be retroactive, though, right? That's what-
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I mean, you still get back pay no matter what. I mean, whichever way you go,
so you're
10,000,
you're
12,000.
proposing the 500 instead of the 1,000?
Hmm?
500 instead of the 1,000?
Yeah,
Let's see.
because the way I read it and prayed over it was 1,000 a month, not 1,000 every 2 weeks. So it's a little bit, you know, I understand there's a little bit difference there.
I have no idea what you would have to pay, you know, like a firm to serve if you didn't have anybody to serve as interim. I have no idea what you would have to pay somebody.
Right.
You know, the only thing that we had to go off of was, you know, like he said, I think Keith got 800 biweekly when he was serving as interim, but that was back in 17 or 18.
Mr. Hamilton, would you like to put a motion on the floor? If the discussion has come to an end.
I mean, you got something else? Speak it now.
I mean, can we talk you into more than 5? I'm not set on 1,000. Can I meet you in the middle and do the 750? I think that's still less than the 800 that he got several years ago.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I don't want the motion to fall flat, because I don't think the right move is to do nothing.
Right.
What if we split it, and get you an assistant city manager? And split that? Would that take some of the workload off of you?
I don't know
And
if
me
that-
train them?
No, that. I
True,
don't know if that's
true.
right, Josh, there won't be, hopefully not enough time to make that even worth the effort to do it now. So, hopefully. You can just delegate so much when you're city manager.
Trying to do the numbers over here.
Let's get some.
I mean, I think you have to just put a number out there, Brad, and
He did. He said 750 a
you
paycheck.
gotta put a motion out there. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, well then, I guess I make a motion for the temporary pay increase for interim city manager Robin Haggard in the amount of $750 per pay period and retroactive to June 17th, 2024.
Second.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Bailey,
No.
Mendiola,
Yes.
Martins,
Yes. Okay. Item 14, conduct public hearing to determine if the property located at 701 North Main Street is a public nuisance. Case 10-24-1C, which is the condemnation of dilapidated structure. Who's up?
Travis is kind of learning some of this, so he's gonna present the case. I'm just here for some moral support. He's here to hold his hand. As far as this item, speaking with the property owner, the property has been taken down, as you can see by the image that was taken this morning. So over the weekend, they actually come in and clean the property up.
Oh, good.
So at this point, we go ahead and strike this from the agenda since they have got cleaned up to our satisfaction.
Okay. So,
You make a motion for that?
I don't think we need a motion, do we?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. If you're gonna pull the motion, I think we're fine. Okay, all right. So let's go to 15 then. Conduct public hearing to determine if the property located at 415 West Creek Avenue is a public nuisance. Case number 1024-2C, condemnation of dilapidated structure.
This structure has been vacant for a number of years. As you can tell, it is in a state of severe deterioration, holes in the roof, floors have collapsed. There is part of the exterior structure that is beginning to collapse, mainly for the carport area. The wall on the front side at the front door has begun to separate from what remains of the flooring in the living, what was once was identified as the living area, and also away from the block foundation. The structure has been frequented by transients in the area that have also left behind trash. This structure is to the degree of deterioration that it has become a hazard to both transients, small children in the area that might find it entertaining to play in. And I would make the,
So this is also in the flood zone. This is actually, part of this property is in the floodway. As most of you know who's lived here most of your life, this house is right next to the rock branch. And so for anybody to even fix this house at this point, they're gonna have to bring it to code, which means they'll have to lift it 2 foot above base flood elevation. So you're probably gonna be raising this house probably 6 to 7 foot off the ground. It's just not, financially, it's not feasible. We have spoke with the owner on this property. He has expressed interest in selling to the city. I don't know if that's what we want to do, but in our opinion, our recommendation would be that we do condemn it and order the abatement of the property.
Motion?
Make a motion, we recommend that case number 10-24-2C be declared a public nuisance and direct staff to abate nuisance.
Second.
Mendiola,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Martins.
Yes, thank you, gentlemen. 16, receive update on economic development and grant activities.
So I think it's 3 months ago, we decided potentially to do this just quarterly for the economic update, so I could quit saying I don't know what I can't tell you and get people frustrated. So I've got a little bit of a presentation. I've got quite a few slides. I'll try to make it fast, but there are some important things we'd like to talk about. If it's okay with council, what I'd like to invite is Chris Carter. He's got the next agenda item for project updates. If he could chime in as we come across some of these projects. He's done some inspections, and so he'll have a little bit more information than what I can give you. And so if we kind of tag team this item, it'll probably be the most efficient. There we go. I'm there now. Okay. So I was holding economic development meetings biannually. We would invite business people, council members, 2 at a time to these meetings. Of course, one of my invitees, can anybody, I know it's kind of hard to see, does anybody recognize that writing there?
Buddy Spencer.
Buddy Spencer, that's right. Buddy Spencer was one of our invites, and this was, Dwight Spencer had found this just the other day, and sent it to me. I thought it was spectacular, but just I'm going to get close to one of these screens so I can read the writing, but it's a great plan, and let me read this real quick. Education, all levels, jobs, quality, healthcare quality, housing quality, parks quality, churches quality, senior citizens, streets, utilities, retail stores, clean city, And the last item on there, Dwight said he heard 100 times from his dad, to plan our work and work our plan. Plan our work and work our plan. You guys were probably in this room, several of you, at our last economic development project, when Buddy was in here, and I'll never forget his words, the last thing he said as everybody left the building was, follow up, follow up, follow up. So anyway, wise words from Buddy, great plan there. And so I wanted to start just by talking about what our focus needs to be moving forward. Continuing our focus on primary jobs. As you guys know, we've had an influx of those. Those drive everything else in our economy. Expendable income at the end of the paycheck or end of the pay cycle. What they can use for goods and services, go out to eat, take their family to do stuff, and drive that industry and drive the local economy for our mom and pop shops and such. We got to develop that east end of town. It's been a struggle, and will continue to be until we get it kind of broke loose. Industrial land, we're out. We're out of industrial property. So along with that property, we have to plan for infrastructure. You could have all the land in the world if you can't support businesses that go there. It doesn't really matter. Quality of life amenities, including walkability, bikeability. Continued focus on a team effort. You've heard me say it 100 times, and this is the highlight of if you get nothing else from this presentation today, just know that it's economic development is a team sport. If everybody doesn't play ball, it doesn't happen. You could have the greatest guy up in front of you doing economic development. I'm not him, but he wouldn't do any good if this council, if our businesses, if our people aren't pulling in the same direction. So this is our industrial road. We're going to get a whole bunch of convergence of truck traffic from JRT Trucking, Avigen's feed mill expansion, which we'll go over in a minute. Our expanding industries. We're going to have a huge convergence of truck traffic, and we got only one way in, basically, to our industrial park. So what staff has been working on is looking at ways to fund this road. I think 4 or 5 or 6 years ago, we had a couple studies done. I think it was like $6 million back then. And so now you're looking, I don't know, $7, $8, $9 million. The red's phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. We had Triad Engineering and then Scott Neal. So I just wanted to go through projects real quick, projects and things that are going on in various stages of development, and just show how government investment and a public-private partnership, and then private investment drives the economy. That little picture to the right there on the right side of your screen, I think Custom Pavement, did you guys work on it, didn't you? Custom Pavement Management, yeah, worked on some of it. And then the runway itself was an ODAA project. But all that on the bottom, runway, taxiway, rehab, all that looks new. The paint, the lighting, the signage, the wind cone. So you guys have heard me say it before. Your airport is the first indication that people get when they fly in what your community is doing. So if you got something that looks shabby, looks like you don't care about it, that's the first indication they get of your community. So back in 2017, the economic development study over for our airport showed a $6 million impact. If you guys will remember back then, our airport was a ghost town. There was nothing going on. Tom Henning's done a great job. He's got traffic, he's got a flight school, he's got A&P mechanics, he's got a staff over there. And so it's just lively. I don't know if you guys looked outside during a sunny day, but you're gonna see an airplane somewhere, so. Aquatic Center. This picture to the right was taken about 2 weeks ago, right before we had a TSET visit. Of course, you guys know we got $362,000 worth of TSET funding for that project. And so part of that was that performance period is having them there, having them do some different things, but this was taken just before then. As Chris was telling me earlier, it looks totally different now after 2 weeks.
Yeah, we've got several of the footings poured, most of the plumbing is done on the bathrooms and the concession stand. So, and even some of the parking has been done. Some of the sidewalks have been done, and getting ready to pour some more of it. So, even the pool area where the pool's gonna be, they've actually started digging, so you can actually see where the pool is gonna be set. So they've really made a lot of progress in the past 2 weeks. So
everything's starting to come together, looking good there now.
Cherokee Nation Early Childhood Development Center, they're off of JT Stites, man, it's gonna be a phenomenal facility. 33,000 square feet, 55 jobs, expect to be completed in August of '25. Chris, you got some more information on that too, don't you?
Yeah, so we've been doing quite a few inspections out there. They should, they're getting ready to start pouring the slab in that building. As soon as they pour the slab, they'll start sanding the iron, and you'll really see some stuff going there. If you've been out in that area, you'll notice that they've cleaned up all the drainage ditches, and it's changed the whole view out there. So they're really doing good out there, and it's coming together real well right now.
In the archery range too.
In the archery range, I'd say it's probably close to about 90% to where they want it. I think we're just about to get ready to hook up the powers for that archery range, so
Mayor,
it's really doing well.
if you'll let us go through this, you'll see. I'm just joking. Next one's archery range. They're doing a great job. It's gonna be a top-notch facility. That's a pretty bad picture. If you drive out there, as the mayor was saying, it looks awesome.
They're
Can't
putting
wait.
fence up today.
Putting fence? Oh, that's awesome.
I'm not gonna say anything else.
I'm gonna get shot driving by.
Go ahead, say
I was
it.
gonna say that, but Sean's beat me to it.
I'm gonna
So,
get shot.
they put up a greenhouse out there, which also is super cool. They're gonna use some of that plant and flowers and the things they're producing out of that to use for our Veterans Center. We have those 5 courtyards that we talked about that we're going to get funded and decorate up, different entities are. So this will be some of the stuff that they fill out there, so it'll be neat. Oh, wrong way, sorry. Your ag animal barn, Mary, you probably give us a better update on this than Chris can, but this is an extension of the ag department to house more animals, so very much needed. And so we went out there, it's a pretty cool facility as well. Schools are starting a fishing education component. I guess they're gonna have a fishing team.
Well, it's the first part of a total outdoor classroom. That's what it is. First part of a total outdoor classroom concept that they're gonna put together out there, so.
Yeah. So the reason I'm talking about Southside schools and the reason I'm bringing up some of their projects, they have some freedom in their curriculum now, and this is pivotal for workforce development. So they can take a partner, say like Aviagen or Millicent or one of our manufacturers, and they can tailor fit some of their STEM education to pipeline a workforce into what we're doing. So if we get with the school and we say, okay, school Cellophone needs, 15 workers a year that have this particular skill set, they can rearrange that curriculum and make those students a viable workforce. So extremely important. Progressive superintendent did a great job, and this is just part of that. I'll try to go quicker, guys, I'm sorry. Another partnership, Boys and Girls Club Gymnasium. Boys and Girls Club has about $700,000 worth of grant funding. We're partnering with the school to find a viable spot. I think we've got it narrowed down to about that area. That's proximate, that's not exact. But it's gonna be close to that area there. So the partnership will go that the school can use that facility for some classroom space for the 3- and 4-year-old program or a daycare that they're gonna put in. And of course, the Boys and Girls Club will use the gymnasium. And then the cool thing is, we'll have another spot for a community space. As you guys know, for our members' night out or whatever, we're having to use different facilities to try to find that, and this will be a full court gym.
Is that related to the item you
It is.
guys presented
It is,
for
yep.
Elm?
Couple months
Yeah.
ago, yep. That's another reason why I brought it up, is because I know we've discussed it. There'll be more information to come. I've got to be careful about what I say about that right now, because there's still some things happening. South Cedar Street has been cleared. Of course, that was done with grant funding for both the Aviagen feed mill and our industrial land there, the Rhodes property. Once again, this is an example of public funding that's going to feed private industry. It's a public-private partnership. Feed mill's gonna create another 12 to 15 jobs. 200 trucks per day, like we talked about, it's a $24 million investment. So it'll go just to the south. You see where that, on the plat, how it's divided up there, the new feed mill will go to the south.
And add to that, we are just about finished with the plans, so, we're working on trying to get those permits ready through them so they can proceed with their project.
So primary jobs, here we go again, ODVA, everybody's familiar with it. We did a little bit of a tour out there, Poncho and Josh were there, Chris, Keith and some other people. They've got, I think, 2 full wings done.
It's
2
great.
full wings. It looks phenomenal out there. I mean, it looks like
It does.
looks like a resort. I mean, you would not,
I'd stay
you'd
there.
not anticipate it
Yeah.
looking that good.
And they were willing to, if some more you, council members like to go, they'd be more willing to show you around there.
Of course, Milson. Work has started to prepare for their CNC and die casting machinery. Of course, that, as we discussed several times, it's some really heavy machinery, so they've got to pour some really thick piers. And once again, that's underway. So all those primary jobs that we just discussed, the partnerships, the government funding, the government projects, the primary jobs feed the rest of this stuff. This is how we get, along with traffic counts and different demographics, expendable income, HMI, that's how we get this retail. Whataburger, they still planning to break ground this month?
Yeah, we just gotta finish their permitting for that as well, so they're chomping at the bit to get started.
Taco Bell is well underway.
Yeah, they're insulating the walls, they're really pushing hard along with the, Seven Brew. You'll probably see a building this Thursday at Seven Brew, so, our electric crew is, out there getting ready to start their, electric lines in the back, so they can get power and power these buildings up.
Of course, Quick Trip, we're all aware of it. It is, man, they did not waste any time. They got with it, and it's good to see, and their signs are up. Go ahead, Chris.
And my conversations with the superintendent on the job, they're about 90% done in the building. So their building will probably be done in the next 2 or 3 weeks. They're waiting on their dirt work and concrete and asphalt to get that to that point. He's telling me that they're gonna probably turn it over sometime in January, and the grand opening will be in I think, sometime in February. So they're really cooking along there. They're doing a good job.
And their real estate manager, Jake Barron, will be the guest speaker at the next chamber meeting, so in October. This month, yeah. Breaking ground in 2025 will be Holiday Inn Express. Just south of the Quick Trip there, 600 feet off the road. Once again, I just want to point out, this is driven by primary jobs, 100%. Bargain Center's rebuilding. They're not wasting any time. You had some information on that too, didn't you?
Yeah, they're doing a real good job. They are, already wanting to get power on the building too, so, they're gonna go fast. This building's gonna be fast, and it's gonna be quick, so.
Mosby Housing Addition, this is in between Drake and Lennington, south side of their property there. Barry Spires owns the north end. 2 houses already done, several others platted to be done. Some pretty good sized houses with those 2.5 acre plots.
2.5 acre.
Yeah. The old Scott's Furniture, Homeland Grocery, whatever, back in the day, wasn't it? Pulled way back for that one. New gymnasium workout facility, he's working on that, has plans, got them to building development. He's got some further updates he's got to do, but we're excited to see that come to fruition. Skating rink, it's being remodeled and under new lease, so it'll be a skating rink still, but under someone else operating it. And we're hopeful that'll remain with us and kick off well, so. I put this in the wrong spot. But this is a petroleum industry manufacturing customer. We're still waiting for the official project announcement. But they gave us some initial numbers, and those projections have actually, I said, grown considerably. They've actually doubled, which is good for them, so. Be good for us. Median salary is gonna be around $50,000 a year, so $51,000 a year. Cantinflas, they're in the old Jimmy's, small area. Ivy Threads has moved to the old liquor store. Lee Creek Estates, we should move that up there as well. So 6 of those houses that are built, of course, they're smaller homes, about 1,200 to 1,500 square feet. They're on the east side, and then the residences on the west side are duplexes. So she sold 6, got 4 duplexes already up, and I think they're mostly rented, and then 4 more under construction. Do you have anything to add about that? Good. Redbird Smith Estates. Of course, we broke ground on that like a year ago, probably. You said they got a lot of houses up already?
They've got, all 12 slabs that they're building of the houses up,
Can't
and,
see them back
I'd say all but maybe 1 framed up, and the roofs are done. 2 of them have been insulated and sheet rocked. They do have the water and the sewer installed, and, I think we're gonna try to get out there and do the electric and, diamond net here in the near future, and then they can start the roads.
How many supposed to be out there?
28, I think, is all they're gonna do, 28 doors total. That is gonna count the, 8 duplexes they're doing in the front. In my understanding, the contractor who's doing the whole project I think they got the bid to do the duplexes as well.
And that's, I guess, my point to putting all these residential developments together is, obviously, those primary jobs also feed your residential developments. So. This is at the corner of Dogwood and Redwood there. I think he's got 9 locations platted there. I think there's 9. He's got 2 up. I went by, it seems like I went by there yesterday, there was nothing besides some slabs, and went back there today and there was 2 up, so I don't know. Low Keys Barber Shop, of course, it's in a new spot there as well. So that list is not comprehensive. I know
I've got a few more things to add.
Chris has got some stuff to add, but it's kind of almost overwhelming to see all the stuff that we've got going on, and sometimes you get sucked in, you commiserate with people, and then you're like, well, you just drive around town and like, man, this is awesome. It's amazing time to be in Sallisaw, amazing time to have what we've got going on for a town of 8,600 people. It's pretty incredible. So, once again, team sport.
George and I was talking about this earlier. I've been here going on 18 years now. And the 18 years I've been here, I've been the inspector for 18 years. The past 2-3 years, man, we've been hooked up. I mean, this is the most activity I've seen all at once since I've been here. So we're really starting to see some progress. Really starting to see some growth. Just wanted to add that to that.
I didn't
Sorry,
know.
sorry it took so long.
Questions?
I didn't see the sign that my wife has been waiting on. So if you're gonna tell me it's not coming to town, you're gonna go to my house and tell her.
Okay, all right. I'll have Chris give me back up.
It wasn't, I didn't see it. Are you sure?
Yeah, they're gonna send a
Yeah.
bill.
I must have missed the slide.
Here you go.
I seen Taco Bell and Whataburger.
Listen.
I just didn't see
understand.
the slide. Maybe I didn't see it.
So you can go home.
Oh, there it was, right there.
There you go.
All right.
There you go.
It's still there. It's still
Okay. Yes,
there. They're pushing hard. They're telling me that they're gonna have coffee served in 90 days.
Well, listen,
So,
I have to drive to Fort Smith 3 times a week. I'm gonna make somebody's salary.
I'll tell you that, you know, I don't know if you know this, but sometimes I can be kind of tenacious. And so without 4 years of work with Quick Trip, it wouldn't have gotten here. So I say that not to toot my own horn, but to say if there's something we want, we need to go after it. We need to look at our leakage. We don't want to cut the throat of somebody who's already here and doing good business. But if we, and here's the deal, you know, with the Holiday Inn Express, listen, I've told this story 100 times, and you guys get sick of me talking, I know. When the ODVA held their meetings at each one of their sites, they come to Salisaw and hold their ODVA commission meeting, and I asked them where they stayed the night before, and they told me Podo. It just hurts my heart a little bit. Like we had to have something with brand recognition, so this is a very good thing.
Thanks.
Thank you all.
So I guess we did 16, 17 both then, didn't we?
I got a little more to add to
Oh,
that.
go ahead, Chris.
Highway 59 project. The Dominant crews are actively working on splicing over the new fiber. They are currently have everything from Taylor Drive north, and they will be working from Taylor Drive to the south. This will be the more difficult tie over, as there are more cores and homes in this area. So they're getting there, and they're gonna get that done quick. Since we covered most of this stuff, I'm just gonna drop down to the Drake and Lennington Water Project. We had our pre-bid meeting on Wednesday, the 9th, and they said that they will be mobilizing, or they were supposed to be mobilizing today and getting started. The contractor felt very confident that they could have that water line dug and put in and ready for use in 60 days. We're not crossing our fingers on that. They do have a 120-day window, but they feel like they can get that done way before the 120 days. So that project should go pretty fast and pretty quick. They have gone out there and kind of introduced themselves to all the people in the area, so they know who's doing the work and what's going on, kind of keep everybody informed. So I think they're going to wind up being a good partner on this project with us. And that's really about all I had with George and with this. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You gonna go with this? Number 18, receive an update on financial status of the city and activities of the finance department. Kaylee?
Right, good evening, guys. All right, so our sales tax continues to stay positive for September. It was 668,000, and our use tax was exactly at 100,000. This is an increase from September of last year of about 43,000 on our sales tax and about 28,000 on our use tax. And with all the projects and things coming, I expect that this number will continue to grow next year as well. So these numbers should look great again this next year with all the new businesses coming. At the end of September, we are 3 months into our fiscal year, which represents 25% of our current budget goals. Our general fund revenues are 26%. Our expenses are 26% as well. Our SMA revenues, taxes are 28%, telecommunications is 24%, sanitation and landfill is 25%, electric services is at 25%, water and sewer is at 29%, and our total revenue overall from SMA is at 19%, with our expenses at 18%. We are continually working with our auditors, the financial auditor currently, and just working to get that audit final finished up. And then we got email today saying that our other auditors will be on site hopefully in November. So lots of answering questions and getting the information to auditors right now. Y'all guys have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Robin, do you have a administrator report?
I do. I'm going to go over these rather quickly because I haven't in the last couple of months. I assume you guys have been reading through them.
Yep.
The AMI water meters, we hope to have the rest of everything on site by the end of October. And then we'll get geared up to get some bidding done for some crews to come here and do the installation. Electric AMI meters are not scheduled to be available until March of 2025. We went ahead, we had some emergencies on the lift station number 2 that we had budgeted for rehab, some rehab repairs for this year. We had to go ahead and make those due to some emergency issues that we had. The Drake Lennington water loop that he mentioned did have the notice to proceed for today. The South Cedar electric clearing is complete, except for the clearing part is complete. We are waiting on Kiowa. I don't know if they mentioned that or not, but the Kiowa Line Builders is going to pull that electric wire for us, and they have taken off to the hurricane. So as soon as they get back, they'll get that wire pulled, and we'll have that project complete for the electric there. We're still waiting on the Corps of Engineers and Jody. They're still working through some things to determine what our mitigation plan will be for the landfill expansion. The Country Club lift station, we're getting ready to bid that out in the next couple of weeks. The storm sirens, as we stated earlier, are on order. The completion time on that, I don't think we mentioned, is going to be around 8 weeks, hopefully. So we hope that that will be completed really soon. The water line in front of Quick Trip, we went ahead and extended that. That was not currently in our budget, but we didn't want to have to do a bore later after they poured their concrete Quick Trip. So we went ahead and extended that so that we could get our lines past there to serve where the Holiday Inn and that development is going. PDG has the layout and conceptual grading for the soccer fields, and they have now engaged with the civil engineering to do the parking lot design and determine any of the drainage items that's out there. I spoke with Jeff this week at the pool meeting on it, and his team is actively working on that, so maybe we'll have some future updates on that pretty quick. Landfill Cell 8A is coming along. There was quite some delays on that, but the clay liner itself has a four lift requirement, and all of those lifts are complete. ODEQ is inspected, and we're waiting for the approval of the perm test to be able to proceed with the liner out there. The project was delayed, if you guys remember, about 45 days because we had to remove some electric poles that was in the way, but we're hoping that this project will be complete at the end of November. The LED sign that got damaged by the storm is to be installed the 3rd week of October. And then the VA Center has announced that they've got those 2 wings available for touring, and I think a couple of you guys went on Friday. I was out of town and wasn't able to go, so I'm not sure who all went. Of course, you know, only 2 at a time can go. But if any of you guys are interested, and we'll get another tour set up, and we'll go out there and do a walkthrough. They say it's really, really nice.
And just to make sure everybody notice on their November meeting's gonna be on the 12th, because Veteran Day is on the 11th. So
Oh,
we'll
yes,
make
I
sure,
missed
make a note,
that.
make a note on
Thank
that, that we'll have a meeting on Tuesday night instead of Monday night that week. I have nothing else.
I got 3 things. You ready? So I called Robin the other day about LED lights for the sports complex
Yes.
entryway.
Yes.
Anything on that?
I'm sorry, they're supposed to be, Randy, I had put him in charge of trying to identify some solar lights for those, as well as, I believe, the entrance signs coming into Salisal. They're on the east end. I think those lights were taken out some time back, so we're gonna see if we can get some
Okay.
solar LED lights put
I
on
just
that
had some people
signage as well.
complain because they can't see the
The
sports
entrance
turn
and
in,
the
yeah.
turn into the sports complex.
The stoplight at Cherokee here, is it back up and running yet? It was flashing yesterday, today.
I haven't been by there today, but
It wasn't.
we did go by there. It wasn't flashing when we went and got the drinks.
Yeah, I think it's working now.
I think it's working, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it was this afternoon, so I didn't know if we, and then the last thing is, at the airport, right before you get to the airport, there's like 3 airplanes that are sitting out there that are grass or 3 foot around them. Is there a reason? Like, are those, what the deal with those are?
I don't know, but I can check.
Yeah, I mean, there's like, I think there's either 3 or 4 of them that are sitting, right before you get into the airport, before the first
I think
hangar.
George left, he might
Yeah.
know. But
I mean, the grass is getting tall around them, and
are you familiar with that, Chris?
I'll get with
Lee tomorrow if you want me to.
We'll check on it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
What else? Any other questions? We good? Have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second?
Moody,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Mendiola,
Yes.
Martins.
Yes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, stick with us. We got 3 formal meetings to go through here. Those should be pretty quick, though. I'm gonna go straight into the municipal authority regular meeting. Gonna call that meeting to order and declare that we do have a quorum. Item 3, possible action on minutes of the regular meeting of September 9th, 2024.
Make a motion.
Second?
Mendiola,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Bailey, Martins.
Yes. Item 4, discussion and possible action on the schedule of regular meeting dates for rec calendar year 2025.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Mendiola,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Martins.
Yes. Item 5, discussion and possible action on change order number 2 in the amount of $9,360.67 for the Southsaw Aquatic Facility Project, which is Hoy Construction Company.
This is a two-part change order. Part 1 reflects a deduction of $30,981. That's for the elimination of an area drain slash street crossing that we were able to reroute into an existing drain. And then the Part 2 reflects an additional amount of $21,620.33, and that's for a 15-foot shift of a building. And the two combined net out to a negative $9,360.67. So I went ahead and put on here, just for reference, the original contract was $3,342,986.27. We had the one change order for $8,500 that was an increase, and then this change order would be a deduct of $9,360.67. So the total construction right now is $3,342,125.60. So staff would recommend approval of this change order number 2 to Hoey Construction. So this is for the building portion.
Make a motion.
Second?
Mendiola,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Martins.
Yes. Item 6, discussion and possible action on change order number 1 in the amount of $29,500 for the Southsaw Aquatic Facility Project, Voy Construction.
So this is for the site preparation around the pool area. In order to minimize the cost, the city, we're gonna haul our own material in there. That's gonna save us about $18,000. But then we're gonna go ahead and approve, hopefully get this approved for the Void Construction to perform the labor part to clear and prep the site area. So with approval of this, the original contract is $2,801,738. The change order number 1 is in the amount of $29,500. So the total would be $2,831,238 to Voy. And that's on the pool portion.
So is that not part of their
This was not,
package?
this was not bid by either Hoy or Voy. So it's kind of been complicated, to say the least.
But in the
And
long run,
this
it's gonna
is
save us money.
for,
Yes.
In the long run, it's gonna save us money.
Well, I just,
neither one of them bid included site prep? Is that right?
Exactly. So from what PDG had advised us, you know, they thought that Hoy should have been the one to include this in their bid. And it did not get included, and so Voy is going to be the one to come in and do the work. You know, if we had the manpower, we could, you know, we could perform the labor ourselves, but right now we're shorthanded, and I just didn't see how, you know, the street department and it could do it all. So we did shave off $18,000 of it to haul the shell ourselves, but
Is this the last thing that you know of?
The last thing that we still have a long way to go on this project, but we're meeting over there. I've been going on site to the meetings as well. At first, it started off pretty rocky, but things in the last 2 weeks have kind of come together, and we really hope that we're on a good path going forward with both parties, and there's been a lot of improvement made in the last 2 weeks.
Make a motion to approve purchase order approve change order number 1, the amount of $29,500 to Void Construction.
Second.
Mendiola,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Martins.
Yes. Do you have anything else on that? Or motion to adjourn, please?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Mendiola,
Yes.
Martins.
Yes. That'll take us right into our Southside Library Authority regular meeting. I'll declare a quorum and call that meeting to order. Item 3 is possible action on minutes of regular meeting of September 9th.
Make a motion.
Second.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Mendiola,
Yes.
Martins.
Yes. Discussion and possible action on scheduled regular meeting dates for calendar year 2025.
Make a motion.
Second.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Mendiola,
Yes.
Martins.
Yes. Motion to adjourn, please?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moody,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Mendiola,
Yes.
Martins.
Yes. That'll take us right into our Industrial Finance Authority regular meeting. I'll call that meeting to order with a quorum. Possible action on minutes of regular meeting of June 10th, 2024.
I make a motion.
Second.
Moody,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Mendiola,
Yes.
Martins.
Yes. Motion to adjourn. Oh, I'm sorry, discussion possible action on the scheduled regular meeting dates for calendar year 2025.
Make a motion.
Second.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Mendiola,
Yes.
Martins.
Yes. Motion to adjourn.
Motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Mendiola,
Yes.
Martins.
Yes. So then we'll go right into our Economic Authority regular meeting. Call that meeting to order with a quorum. Could we have possible action on minutes of regular meeting of June 10th?
Make a motion.
Second.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Mendiola,
Yes.
Martins.
Yes. Possible discussion, possible action on the scheduled regular meeting dates for calendar year 2025.
Make a motion.
Second.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Mendiola,
Yes.
Martins.
Yes. Adjourn.
Motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Mendiola,
Yes.
Martins.
Yes. Thank you all for being here.